Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope everyone's having a happy Easter wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm going to start with this. Let's talk about 10 things. Nobody can speak for XRP Ledger, and these are just my own views. Also, it's dangerous to say something will definitely not happen. I'm talking about what is reasonable to expect. Now, remember the 10 things the XRP community needs to get right? I talked about it in yesterday's video. Well, David went on to explain every one of them in his own way. So XRP can't be pegged to gold, silver, or anything else. In theory, nothing prevents someone from trying to peg the price, but it's absurd to expect someone to do this when it's virtually impossible to imagine why anyone would want to do that. So he's saying that XRP could be pegged to gold, but why would anyone even want to do it? It doesn't make sense to him. XRP can't magically become a stablecoin. Someone could offer to redeem XRP at some fixed rate for something else to set a floor price, but why would anyone want to do that? Why wouldn't they just issue a stablecoin and not mess up XRP? If you want a stablecoin, buy one. We're going to talk more about stablecoins later in this video. Stablecoins issued on the XRP ledger are not XRP. This is obviously correct, he says. You can issue stablecoins on the XRP ledger, but those are distinct assets from XRP. They have an issuer who typically redeems them and controls them, unlike XRP, which doesn't work that way. The XRP ledger requires electricity to operate. I'm not sure how this could be controversial. We don't have non-electric computers with the kind of capabilities needed to run any blockchain. XRP can only exist on the XRP ledger, otherwise it's an IOU. The XRP ledger is the authoritative record of XRP ownership. You can create XRP denominated assets elsewhere, but unless they're somehow one-to-one tied to the XRP on the XRP ledger, they're not XRP, but a derivative or an IOU. XRP has nothing to do with ISO 222. ISO 222 is a messaging standard for payments. XRP is a cryptocurrency. While there could certainly be projects using both of these things, there is no real inherent overlap between them. I'll talk about that more in a minute. Interledger doesn't require XRP. ILP works with any asset, either for payment or settlement. It works well in conjunction with XRP ledger payment channels. You can use ILP for pure dollar payments if you want. All the money in the world will not run across the XRP ledger. Massively scaling blockchains is hard. That doesn't limit use of XRP to denominated payments or using payment channels, IOUs, derivatives, etc. Most of the world's payments don't belong on a public blockchain. So when we talk about XRP moving all the world's money, I have said it time and time again, XRP is going to move some of the money, not all the money. That's why we invest in other coins as well. The US government is not going to buy back your XRP. Tying XRP to one particular jurisdiction plays to its weakness rather than its strengths. Cryptocurrencies work best when their ownership is diverse. That's why I always said, if the US government's going to buy back XRP, every other country needs to buy it back as well. And at what price would they be buying it back? People got stuck on that one for quite a while, and there's still videos coming out around the government buying back your XRP. I don't see that ever happening. RippleNet is totally different from the XRP ledger. RippleNet is an enterprise payment system that eliminates barriers to using XRP ledger for the source or destination or bridge in enterprise payments. RippleNet is a private network based on early versions of ILP. XRP and the XRP ledger really are what you see is what you get. If you're imagining that there's some massive secret, you're imagining. You can imagine anything about anything. Imagining things doesn't justify believing them. Be excited about is actually there or building things. That's why when I make videos, I always try to show you facts to go with it. Because, we speculate a lot around XRP. People have been doing it for years now. Every time a new narrative comes up, right away, people get excited about it because they think right away that's the flip of the switch moment. XRP is going to 10K. But you need to be based in reality sometimes. David is saying anything is possible. He's not ruling out that XRP can't be backed by gold. What he's saying is he can't imagine anyone wanting to do it. But as far as buybacks and things like that, I would never trust any of it because if you have to sign your XRP over to someone else, you might as well just give your XRP away. That's why I always said it looked very scammy to me. Now, Crypto Erie also went out on a rant as well. This has nothing to do with the company Ripple Labs. This was an attempt in 2013 by James Cox to make a company to sell bullion using the Ripple payment gateway to transact. In the early days, many people were experimenting with gateways. In 2014, most popular Ripple gateway was owned by Bitstamp. It was once thought that there would be many gateways, spawning many ideas, live market makers or APP developers that would leverage the Ripple API. As business goes, things evolve, and this Ripple Bullion company in the video closed in 2015. Its founder now runs Taipan Trading and Investments. Just about 5 minutes of research is needed. Because you see people right away say, breaking, XRP Ripple is already backed by gold, platinum, and silver. Secret project Codius is here also. Some people see things and they interpret things one way. Other people then go and they try to debunk it. I think Crypto Erie here was just trying to point out that this wasn't true. She wasn't trying to say that, listen, you got this all wrong or whatever, try to downplay the narrative that was talked about. But you got to understand, most people that make videos on YouTube, and I'm one of them, I speculate on some things, but I tell you that I'm speculating. Unless I can show you fact, it's not fact. Now, this is something that has people really amped up as well. To the doom and gloomers, the Fed coin is missing 4 things: gold, silver, ISO 222, Basel 3.4, U.S. Treasury support, which means it's dead on arrival. The Fed coin will not survive on the blockchain system. Crash and burn will be the entry exit point. Like I was telling you for a while, I still believe that they're going to come out with some sort of system. FedNow is going to get up and running, and it's going to crash and burn. A lot of things happen that way in the United States. They rush to get things out, and then it doesn't work out. But it creates an emergency situation then. That's the part I'm worried about. If there's an emergency situation, they're going to bring about a full-on CBDC. So lawmakers in the United States are proposing bills that oppose the development of central bank digital currency based on U.S. dollars. Texas is considering an alternative approach with the potential establishment of a Texas state-issued gold-backed digital currency. Now, they're not talking about gold-backed XRP or gold-backed cryptocurrency. They're talking about a whole new currency, like a currency like the U.S. dollar. Now, this is something I wanted to talk about because remember we talked about stablecoins and how David, talked about stablecoins. This is the one thing that I'm a little bit stuck on. World Bank puts XRP and XLM under the category of stablecoins and calls them digital currencies. Cough, not securities, SEC. Stablecoins because of instant settlement. XRP, cross-border interbanking payments, micropayments, CBDC, federated sidechains, XLM, retail payments. Now, when they're talking about a stable coin here, I believe they're talking that it has to have a stable value. It can't fluctuate up and down the way it does now. I think in the future, we're not going to see the market cycles that we see now. It's going to look a lot different once utility kicks in. But right now, talking about stable coins, it sounds exactly the opposite of what David was saying. So we'll have to see what happens with the World Bank. Ripple is both messaging and liquidity. Now, remember how David talked about XRP and ISO? Brad seems to think differently. Ripple is competing with the liquidity of Citi and the messaging of Swift, but in one, because we are both messaging and liquidity. So ISO, if it's just the messaging system, Ripple does that the same way. That's why I still believe Ripple's going to steal a lot of business away from Swift in the future. But they also provide liquidity. That's the game changer for me. That's why I will continue to hold my XRP. You cannot compete with on-demand liquidity. Ripple, IOTA, and Stellar Lumens could work with Swift under ISO 222 regulation. Now, we see how that massive network is forming over time. I talk about it, and I always tell you, you could see the connections between this crypto and that crypto. Now we're seeing it happen with IOTA, Stellar, and Ripple. I think as time goes on, we're going to have other announcements like this as well. But I still believe if Ripple doesn't work with Swift or Swift doesn't work with Ripple, Swift will be gone over time. Is Ripple using XRP to drive force behind the massive billion-dollar CBDC project? Now, Ripple, we know, has a lot of ties with India. I mentioned this in yesterday's video, but I didn't highlight on it. Ripple is working with numerous countries in their development of CBDC projects, which are increasingly in demand. India, which is a major economy, is working on a pilot CBDC, and some have suggested that the Reserve Bank of India might tap into Ripple's technology. I believe they are definitely going to use Ripple. I believe you see other BRICS countries doing the same thing right now. I still think that XRP is going to be totally tied to BRICS a lot more than people think. Can you say that a little louder, please? I don't think everyone heard you. SBI CEO, every bank in Japan will use Ripple's XRP by 2025. That right there should be enough for you to continue holding your XRP into the future. Like I always tell you, we don't know what's going to happen. David even says he doesn't rule anything out because we're so early yet. We're watching this system come together little by little on a daily basis. Whenever I make a video and I talk about new announcements around XRP, I'm showing you the new financial system getting built. But I don't need to hype it up for you to see what I see. I could do it by just showing you the facts. The Daily Huddle, SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, pro-XRP lawyer outlines one possible outcome if judge decides to split the baby. Now, this is something I had to share with you. This comes from Jeremy Hogan. If the judge in the Ripple case wanted to split the baby, that's a horrific phrase, isn't it? She could rule that sales of XRP since mid-2018 were not securities because even the SEC concedes that Ripple's actions had almost no effect on XRP's price since that point in time. What would that possibly mean? Ripple would pay a fine, which by my calculations it could afford, and move forward with its business. And now with XRP being the only crypto with clarity, maybe Coinbase will only be selling Bitcoin and XRP by next year. That is something that we got to see happening because I want this case to wrap up as soon as possible. And as it wraps up, I believe a lot in crypto is going to change. If Ripple wins, it's going to change the whole crypto landscape, in my opinion. Not only is it going to send a lot of cryptocurrencies skyrocketing, possibly setting off the next run, but a lot of cryptos will disappear. I'm talking about meme coins. At some point, we're going to be left with a handful of utility, use case-driven cryptocurrencies in the future. But I'm going to leave you with this today. I always like to point out the facts. And the facts tell me this. Within the next 2 years, a lot of big things are going to happen. I think crypto is going to turn around in 2023. I think we're going to start seeing massive green candles. It's all going to come into play once Ripple wins against the SEC. I don't think we've seen any value from ISO yet. I think that'll come later and over time. You also got to look at the XRP ledger. A lot of new projects are coming on board all the time. I'm probably going to do a video just based off of the projects on the XRP ledger so I could show you all that growth. That's going to add value as well. But at a time like this, you just stay patient and you stay positive. You continue holding because the future is still a little bit uncertain. And I do know this, though. One thing that's certainly going to happen, you are going to get rich off of your XRP one way or another. Even if Ripple lost the case against the SEC, XRP will continue on. That's why it's a great investment. Nothing is really holding it back right now except that case. And if XRP was to have regulatory clarity here in the US, that's just going to push it to a much higher price in the future. With that said, have a happy Easter. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.